Ask a Coach on Instagram. I am your host, Sean Butner, certified high performance coach, and I help professionals, entrepreneurs, and other folks level up their lives so that they can transform and get what they want. And today's show is all about you guys submitting questions, things that I've taken from courses and comments, and all that stuff to kind of provide a point to talk about personal development, high performance, in a way that might help you. So if you have any questions, you can go to seanbutler.com/ask. You can also check out my bio and click the link to ask a coach on Instagram, where you can submit your questions. And you could qualify on Instagram to do a quick 5-minute coaching session where we're talking, because that's like the best way. Otherwise, I have to make a bunch of assumptions on your situation to try to talk to something. So I'm just throwing that out there. So some of these questions, I might not have the full context, but I'll talk about how I might think through the general topic, just for full disclosure, okay? So we got 3 questions today from you that I'd really love to address. The first one being something we've been talking about all week. So if you haven't been watching the show at Sean Butler or Coach Sean Butler at Coach Sean Butler on Instagram, and then Facebook.com/Sean Butler Coaching. You can check that out where we took the high performance approach to how do you best manage your time. So to really directly address it, right? So this week, to sum up, if you haven't seen this week's shows, is you need to be clear on what you got to get done. You need to be able to have and some of the energy to execute on the things that need to get done. You need to be decisive and bold and take quick action on the things on your calendar and communicate that very boldly so people know not to add more things to your plate. Yesterday, we talked a little bit about how to focus on the main thing, even though that was in the context of all the craziness happening at the Capitol. So we won't dwell on that. If you want to see more, check out yesterday's video. But, when you're able to focus on the main thing every day, to move the football forward, as they say, then, you have a little bit of momentum to make sure that you're reaching your goals and dreams. But if we're thinking about managing time now, right? So we have all that kind of context. Thinking through it a bit more, sometimes you can take a look at like David Allen. He has a book called Get Things Done. And a lot of that is just having a system on how to organize all the incoming information, meetings, all that kind of stuff. I highly recommend that. Probably the biggest thing that helped me in my career when I was in tech was just the brain dump of everything you have in your head. So if you can, journal, get some Post-it notes or your journal or whatever, write out everything you can possibly think of that's in your head, just to clear it out so that you can then start to organize it. That's a really great way to manage time. But I also wanted to share this belief that time management is really, more priority management, right? We all have the same amount of time, and there are people that are really awesome weapons at what they do. And it's not because they have more time, it's because they use their time more efficiently. So another way to think about time management is how can I more effectively do the things that I need to do every day, so that I'm not running over on time and impacting other things, right? So getting really, really clear on how you can do things quicker, how you can do things with greater effects or less frequently during the week because you're more impactful is another kind of way to look at that. And really, if there's 2 questions on how to manage priorities better, how to get more effective, it is number 1, the question, like, how could I do this in half the time? Because if you've been doing something for a long time and you haven't been asked that question, nobody's directly challenged you to be like, how could I do that? This email in half the time. I spend 10 hours on email every day. What if I could only spend on 5? What would I do differently? How would I organize? How would I change things up? And that could be applied to work. It could be applied to relationships. And it sounds kind of weird, but how can you more effectively connect with your spouse, with your friends, with your family, with your kids, with your community, and not have to maybe spend, each night at the pub when we could do that back in the day, pre-COVID. But grabbing a drink with everyone every night, which is not really good for your health and has all these other things. Like, how could I be more effective with that, or how could I be more effective in maintaining my health? Right? Um, how could I switch things up where I'm, maybe you batch your cooking on Sundays, so you have food for the rest of the week that's home cooked, that's good, that's supporting the energy you need to get things done. So that is kind of just the raw brain dump on that question from Christopher White. Thank you again for asking that question. It was a really good one, and I got really excited, so I just ran with it. Okay, so second question I got is essentially, how can I beat being like laziness and procrastination? Which, without that was pretty much all the context I got. So I don't know why there's this procrastination and laziness. I can say from the folks that I've coached and people I've been around, when it comes to laziness and procrastination, it's either lack of clarity on what you should be doing, right, at any given time. So you could know what you need to do, but not know the next step. And the energy it takes to figure that out sometimes can derail you. So it could be a clarity thing. It could just be not taking care of yourself. So are you eating, sleeping, drinking enough water, doing nutrition, exercising, like doing things that activate your body so you have the energy you need to follow through? Or, it could be not feeling safe to take action, right? So you're holding back and you're trying to avoid conflict. There's a whole bunch of different ways we can approach that, but probably if there was a suggestion that can help you beat laziness and procrastination, it's thinking about, what do I need to do and why is that important? And why is that not just important to me? Why is that important to my family? Why is that important to my organization? Why is that important to my community? And to think outside of yourself. Like, if I had a kid that I'm role modeling for, what would I like to role model for them? Like that, those types of questions can really help you beat that laziness procrastination, because if you're going to do it for yourself, you might cut yourself some slack. I experienced this with working out, where if I don't have someone that I'm accountable to every day, like the app that I really love, Future.fit, with the personal trainer, is always like, hey man, I'm ready to go today, and hey, good job, like just that simple check-in, got me consistent in working out this past year. I worked out. I was a high school athlete, did a bunch of stuff in college. I trained for marathons, and then life happened. You get out of the habits, and it's tough, And so so I was procrastinating a lot on my working out. But what changed it again was having that accountability, having somebody that pushed me, and realizing too that, with my family history, my mom passed away from heart disease, pretty much. Her side of the family has a lot of that. My grandfather on my dad's side had a heart attack when he was, I think he was in his 50s. This was before I was born. So knowing that, like, it's important for me, if I want to be around for my wife, if I want to be around for my brother and my dad, if I really want to serve here and do this, like this, honestly, you might not know it, I'm a card carrying introvert. And so this expends a lot of energy, just talking even to the internet. So, I can talk myself out of doing videos a lot, but having the schedule, being accountable to you guys, really trying to deliver value, trying to help you guys get to your next level. That's what I think about. And the days where I'm like, I don't want to do this, I'm like, got to. It's an obligation. It's something that I also believe in, and doing, putting out good in the world. So, what is your why for doing the things that you do in your career, in your relationship, in your health and well-being? And journal about that. Like, I ask that question to you right now in all those areas, and you're like, I don't know, that's something worth journaling that can help turn that energy around. So I hope that is helpful to you. All right, the third question, paraphrased a little bit, is I'm a stay at home mom going through a divorce and I'm struggling with feeling worthy and trusting myself. So, how can I feel more worthy and trust myself more? And this is a huge loaded thing where there's a lot of questions I have. Like, where again, are you clear on why you feel not worthy enough or you don't trust yourself? Is it because of the relationship you're leaving? Is it, are you losing an identity of some sort? Some people define themselves in relationships. Some people, um, maybe, in this particular case through divorce, might feel like they failed in some way, whether it's a religious thing or a family thing or a personal thing, and it's a very, like, each one of those paths would be a lot of different ways to talk about and support. So thinking through this out loud, but I think if it's, so if you're not, get clear, I guess, again, I'll use this high performance model, get clear on why you might not feel worthy or trust yourself. You can see energy, maybe you're not taking care of yourself because you're really stressed out, so go for walks. Try to move your body a bit more. It's just a very simple, I don't know really what's going on, but usually helps type thing. Um, Maybe it's not feeling like you could fully express yourself. If you felt trapped in that relationship, or you feel like you've lost the identity of, a wife, a husband. Maybe you feel like you're failing your kids because you're not providing them that stable nuclear family that people used to talk about all the time. Um, you know, that could really ding your confidence. But how could you fully express yourself? How can you really, do you have people that you can share what you're going through with that understand and can support you? Because part of that is being vulnerable and saying like, "Hey, I'm really struggling here," and I want to honor that too. That you asked this question to a stranger online, and without actually getting on a call with you and learning a bit more about your situation, I don't feel like I'm really hitting the mark on this, and I'll be honest with that. So I don't know everything, of course, but I do have a process that can help people have breakthroughs and figure that out. So I hope you like today's Ask a Coach. If you would, do the social media thing, share this. I know I had a little button thing pop up when I was talking before. I don't have the timing on that quite right. But yeah, guys, super, super happy to be here. Please submit your questions, direct message me, comment below, or go to seanbutler.com/ask to submit your questions. And if you do it through that mode, by going to seanbutler.com/ask, you have a chance to get coached live for everyone for like 5-10 minutes. And we can go through what you're struggling with, what you are working towards, whatever you want to talk about. We'll figure that out, and really love doing this for you. Okay, guys, see you next Monday at 10 o'clock for the normal start your day with the coach, and I'll talk to you later, guys.